Hey guys, welcome to Major's Garage. This is Suelio Almeida. I'm the crew chief for the Formula 3 and Formula 3.5 cars. Today we're gonna see my lap here at Monza without the first chicane, so let's go straight to the second chicane. Basically, the first, the braking zone for the first corner. It used to be the 100 sign, but since we have even lower downforce because we don't have the first chicane, I'm actually starting to brake at this access road here just under the bridge. So as you can see, and I'm not braking too hard. I'm braking around 70%. I used to be braking at 75 with more downforce, but since we have really low downforce in this setup, I'm actually braking a little bit less. So braking up to third gear basically on a straight line. And my turning point, I don't actually have a turning point, but I always turn around the beginning of this curve, but my eyes are actually already there. My eyes are already looking at the first apex. So third gear, I turn in, and I want to put my car very aggressively over the first apex. So as you can see, this was enough not to give me an off track or a slowdown. A little bit more than that and you will get a slowdown. So I think if you put the middle of the car over this line to this second part here, second red part closest to the grass, you will get a slowdown. So as you can see here, I'm very over at the limit not to get a slowdown, but this is very important so we could carry a little bit more speed, churning a little bit earlier and have a better exit. What I really want is to imagine that my car is very close to the left here. I don't want to overshoot the first apex and find myself here. This is not what we want. We want to have our car at least at the middle of the track on the change of direction. And then on the change of direction, I want to turn the car quite quickly to the other side. Boom! So as you can see, I'm really throwing the car to the other side. Not gently, it's definitely throwing like that. So you can hit the second apex as close as possible to being pointed to the straight after the corner, after the second apex. You don't want to hit the curb facing too much diagonally the exit like that. You want to face it like that. So that's why I bring the car a lot to the left, and then when I change direction, I change it really quickly because I want to turn a lot the car before I hit that second apex. So you can hit the apex quite aggressively. You will jump a little bit on the way back. You still need to be careful with the throttle. You don't want to be full throttle as you fall from the curb. But after you fall, you can bring back the throttle. So let's see that the entire corner on a slow down. Third gear, start turning, thinking about riding this curve entirely without getting off track or a slowdown, and then turning very quickly to the other side, waiting for the car to settle from the jump, and then full throttle. Now for the next corners, this is a we always turn slightly late. We don't want to turn too early because the apex is gonna be around this access road here. So we only see it after a little bit of time, after we already turned. Not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Here it is. So I want to keep closing, keep closing, keep closing until I get back in the throttle right now. That is a little bit before the actual apex. And then I can keep my car full throttle here. This setup, the driver setup, is actually slightly oversteery, so you can trust that the car will actually rotate as soon as you get back in the throttle. So boom, the car rotates a little bit more. Be careful because this is giving a lot of off tracks very easily here. For this one, I brake slightly before the 50, downshift to 4th, and you can try to be aggressive here. You see that I actually get a little bit of the green part, not too much. You probably can get even a little bit more because with less downforce, the car responds more slowly to bumps, and it doesn't really snap loose like a high downforce car would be. So here you can see that I'm actually jumping a lot. I mean, not a lot, but a little bit. I'm jumping with confidence. That's what I want to say here, that the car doesn't get upset. It actually gets upset because of the rotation from the acceleration, not from the bumps. Again here, this is basically the limit. I think what you can do is put the middle of the car over this white line. If you go a little bit more to the left, you will get an off track here. Now for Ascari, what we want here, same thing, we want to brake at the access road under the bridge, as you can see here. That's when I start braking. It's actually a little bit later, but that's my reference. If we see in full speed, yeah, it's actually a little bit after, but way before the 100, definitely way before the 100. Downshift to 4th. You can try to hit this black and yellow curb and fail. If you try and fail, you will be very quick. If you succeed, it will upset the car. So that's what I do. I try to be as close as possible without actually hitting it. Then I get back on the throttle as soon as I am at the apex, at the first apex, and then I try to not decrease the throttle anymore. So as you can see, the entire corner is basically braking a little bit after under the bridge and getting back on the throttle here. Then the rest is gonna be a consequence of how well you turned in here. If you turn a lot to the left and you get back on the throttle quite precisely here, the throttle will help the rotation. The car will actually oversteer a little bit here, so you need to counter steer or just be very gentle with the wheel. But you can see that you can really go flat out here. Also here, same thing, we want to be very, 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 very close. That was close enough, I guess, to the black and yellow curb without hitting it. And you can just leave your car. This won't give you an off track here, which is odd. Why does it give an off track at the Lesmo but doesn't give here? Whatever. And then for Parabolica, I am braking slightly before the green AstroTurf here ends. Maybe this is just a painted concrete. Before it ends, I start braking. 5, 4, turning very slowly because there is not a lot of downforce, so you want to be very gentle. But when you are back on the throttle, you want to, again, hit the throttle aggressively because this setup is made for that. It helps the rotation on exit. And then you can just let the car complete the rotation by itself. You don't need necessarily to go all the way there. If your car is closing in, you can already close and keep a lot on the inside here. This will not give you an off track. So you can just stay on a straight line close to what would be the first chicane. If you just stay on a straight line like this, at the end of the straight, you're going to be at the left. And you're gonna use the quickest straight line here on this very long straight. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed and see you next week. Bye.